Hi everyone, Daisy here with a layout for Cardstock Warehouse. Unfortunately, I lost some footage, so you did miss me gluing together this cut file. I know everybody's really upset about it because it was super exciting to watch. I'm just kidding. It took me forever to get these lined up right. This is a cut file from the Shimmers shop. And it's this beautiful plaid pumpkin, and so I used different shades of orange or orangey red to back them. So that red color is one of the Color Plan collection, and it is vermilion. The darker of the two oranges is Pop Tone, and that is Tangy Orange. And then the lighter one is also Pop Tone, and it is Orange Fizz. And these three colors just scream fall to me. So I wanted to pair them with like a typical plaid color, so the black. And the black is one of the Pop Tone colors in Blacktop. No, I'm sorry, that's not Pop Tone. That's a foundations paper, not Pop Tone. I apologize. And it is just a really great black. It's definitely like standout black, and it has a black core, so when you tear it or whatever, it doesn't show, you know, the edges, which is really nice. The background paper that I'm using is one of the Speckle Tone papers, and it is the Speckle Tone in Starch White, and I just put some gesso on it because I decided I wanted to do some mixed media in the background, and I'm just going to do some kind of tone on tone painting. I did unfortunately grab a thinner version of this cardstock. I think this is the like the 80 pound or something cardstock that I accidentally grabbed. When I do mixed media, usually I will grab the thicker, like 100 pound cardstock, just because it stands up a lot better to water. But I'm using so much water on this that I wanted to use the gesso anyway. And the gesso, if you don't know, really protects your paper. And it really, it makes it so the water kind of sits on top of the paper and it doesn't absorb in. And that is a good thing for when you want to layer colors to get that watercolory look. Or if you're using a thinner paper and you're concerned about like tearing and that sort of thing. So the gesso is just kind of like a primer for your paper. So I started out with that, and now I'm using 3 different colors of paints here. And one of them is in a red color that matches really well to that vermilion. It's kind of like a light orangey red. And then this lighter color, orange, is going behind where the lighter pumpkin is going. And then I'm kind of using it's a red color that has gold glitter or gold shimmer in it, because these are all Shimmers paints. So this one has a gold shimmer to it. So when it dries, it looks more orange than it does when it goes on. When it goes on, it looks kind of pink, but it dries more orangey color because of that gold shimmer in it. So I like to do something funny with my paintbrush, and when I'm trying to get a more natural, like plopped on the page kind of look, I will roll my paintbrush, because that way I find that it softens up the edges and you don't get like the hard traced lines. This went a little crazy for me. I just kept rolling it and rolling. So this is a little bit more than I would usually do, but I'm just going to use my heat tool and dry that up because I did use quite a bit of water. And it did warp a little bit because of the heat tool. If I would have let it air dried and put something on top of it, it would have been much flatter. But this doesn't bother me because once you put it in a page protector, it flattens out really well anyway. But because it did warp, I did back it with another piece of black pattern paper, so you can kind of see that border. I just added that to it. Now I glued the red pumpkin flat down to the paper, and then I popped the darker orange one up on one layer of fun foam and the lighter orange one up on 2 layers, just to create different dimensions. And I really like the way that that turned out. The title is also a Shimmers cut file, and it's Hey There Pumpkin, and I cut it out of the absolutely stunning copper Star Dream paper. It is the metallic kind of iridescent paper, and it is just amazing. I am obsessed with copper for this fall, and this is just totally perfect. So I cut it out using my Silhouette, and it cuts perfectly. It is a bit thicker of a paper, so you do, I always set mine to cut through twice on this one, or on these thicker papers. It is 105 pounds, so it is very stiff, but my Silhouette handled it just fine. We just cut it through twice, or sent it through twice, and it came out perfectly. So now what I'm going to do is to really make these pop is I wanted to use different colored sequins to kind of create this, like, excuse me, this glowing effect around my pumpkins. So I chose out some sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps, and I am using different sizes and different like textured sequins. Some of them are flat, some of them are cupped, some of them I think have little swirls on them, but as long as they're in the right like color family. So I'm using lighter orange here to go into the lighter orange pumpkin area, and I'm being sure to carry it down into the title as well, because the paint carried down, so I wanted to make sure that the sequins kind of followed where the paint went. And then I'm going to use this darker orange for over here. And usually I would use glue dots for this, but I just used my liquid adhesive and just went ahead and pre-dotted all of my glue down. And then I'm just adding the sequins to on top of it. I think the first one I used 2 different kinds of sequins. This one I'm going to use 3 just because I was running out of those really darker shaded sequins, so I do add a couple of lighter shades in here. And I'm a little bit finicky about my placement of my sequins. I don't like them to be like lined up perfectly next to each other, and I try to mix up my sequin type or colors so that they're not like all grouped in one area. It doesn't always work, but you know, I do the best I can to separate them out a little bit. And I actually just noticed looking at this layout that one of my sequins falls off at some point. I don't know if it's on video or after the video, but yeah. So I feel like with the mixed media and the sequins that it's really allowing that beautiful paper color to really pop out. And I don't know about you, but fall is the start of plaid season for me. That's when I pull out, you know, all of my flannel shirts and my buffalo plaid stuff, and then it carries all the way through winter. So, you know, there's a good probably 6 months of plaid in my house. So I'm a huge fan. So when I saw these pumpkins, I was totally in love, and I had to use them. So here I'm going to use these beautiful, like almost burgundy color sequins, and then in the same sequin mix there is a perfect color orange that like perfectly matches the vermilion. So it was just meant to be for me to make this layout. So it does take a little bit of time to adhere all these down, but I really think it makes a difference. I am using a jewel picker. These things are amazing. One end of it has, or both ends, there's a larger end and a smaller end, and they both have like this covering that is a little bit sticky. I don't know what the covering is made out of. But I got mine off of Amazon, and you can re-stick it. Like if it gets too much glue on it, a lot of times I'll wash it off and then it'll be sticky again without being like glued on, I guess. And it is an amazing thing if you use sequins or any little jewels. So now another thing that I found in some of the sequin mixes were these beautiful fall leaves, and I thought that they would be perfect complement. There are some coppery color ones, so I could bring the copper around the page, and then just some kind of orange ones and some clear orange ones. So I'm just going to stick those down too, and then that's pretty much going to be the end of my layout. So I will have everything written up over on the blog, so you can click on links to get the papers that I used. I will have links down below for the shimmer shops and Spiegel Mom Scrap Shop, just in case you're interested in that. But yeah, don't forget to head on over to the blog and check that out. And don't forget to pick up some of your own Cardstock Warehouse. It's all reasonably priced. It's amazing for mixed media, and it's just amazing for everything. It's my favorite, but I use it on absolutely pretty much all of my layouts. So yeah, so I just want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again next time. Bye.